Today I will be talking to you about the relevance of the Sabbath, and we'll be talking about rest and purpose and lordship in regards to the Sabbath. You know, in this fast-paced 24/7 world, busyness is often worn as a badge of honor. And you've seen it, I've seen it. People are constantly connected, constantly working, constantly exhausted. But thousands of years ago, there was a counter-cultural rhythm set into motion known as the Sabbath. And today we're exploring the Sabbath and the relevance of it to us right here and now, and the deep importance of this sacred rest. And we're going to be using 4 powerful truths that show why the Sabbath is not just an outdated ritual, but really it's a life-giving necessity. The first thing that I want to establish today is the Sabbath was and is a way that God's people were set apart. You know, in the ancient world, neighboring nations worked their slaves and animals to death, and survival was entirely dependent on human effort. And so when God commanded his people to stop working every 7th day, it was a radical act of trust. And it signaled to the surrounding world that Israel relied on God for provision, not just their own labor. And so by resting, they were physically declaring that they were different. They were holy and they were set apart. And so today, practicing the Sabbath still sets us apart as believers. It proves that our identity is found in who we belong to, not in what we produce. And this is an important principle for believers. The second thing I would like to establish is this. It's that the Sabbath was and is very important to God. We see it as early as Genesis 2, verse 3. But we see this from the beginning of time. God didn't just command the Sabbath, he modeled it. And after creating the universe, he rested on the 7th day and made it holy. Later, he carved it into stone as one of the 10 commandments, placing it right alongside laws against murder and theft. God takes rest very seriously, and he knows our design. This is why he takes it so seriously, because he knows our design. He knows what's best for us. And when we ignore the Sabbath, we aren't just breaking a rule, we're breaking a foundational rhythm that was woven into the fabric of creation itself. Number 3, the third thing to establish is this. We don't take a Sabbath from doing good. We do take rest, but the Sabbath does not mean we take a rest from doing good things. We have to understand the true nature of this rest. In the New Testament, religious leaders legalistically twisted the Sabbath into a day of heavy restrictions, but Jesus fiercely corrected this. He healed the sick. He fed the hungry on the Sabbath, and he demonstrated for us that holy rest is never an excuse for apathy or for selfishness, but the Sabbath is a break from our regular self-serving labor. Mercy and kindness and love, and these things are important, and in fact, doing good honors the heart of the day. Doing good honors the Sabbath. And the last thing that I want to make known is this, and that is that Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. This is important to understand because the Sabbath was created for us, but Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. And so what this means is that Jesus explicitly told us that the Sabbath was made to serve humanity, not the other way around. It's a gift of grace for our physical and mental well-being. But because Jesus is Lord of that day, we must always remember him in our Sabbath. And so this means true rest isn't just sleeping in or binge watching our favorite show, but it is about anchoring our souls in Christ, because he is the ultimate rest. And when we pause, we reorient our hearts around his love and his sacrifice and his lordship over us. And so in conclusion, the Sabbath remains deeply relevant today. It sets us apart from a frantic culture. It honors God. It frees us to do good, and it points us directly to Jesus. So I challenge you this week to take some intentional time to step away from the grind and embrace the gift of the Sabbath and find rest in the one who holds it all together. Thank you.